Please rise for a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. I'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brittany, do you have a printed out copy of the agenda? All right. Board, has everybody had opportunity to see the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
did we need to amend the agenda for the closed session at all?
I think we're going to want to amend the agenda because I think some are going to talk about personnel matters. And we'll keep that to a minimum, but if we could have that as an amendment.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we amend tonight's agenda to include personnel matters in the closed meeting during 5.01 of our agenda.
It's already on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, perfect. So no need for that. So motion to approve the agendas.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have a working agenda. All right, so we're going to open up public comments. Did anyone register to speak? No? Anyone want to speak? All right. There's really only one person in the audience, so no one? All right, so we will close the public comment time and move on to action items. Discuss and consider approval of changes to the 2025-2026 calendar. So that came up as a result of the April 21st election that got kind of thrown on our plate. I've received a call from the Board of Elections for Amherst County, and they have received a tremendous amount of interest in the election with the early voting process. And so they are concerned about us having schools open on Election Day with the traffic that they are expecting. They're expecting continued heavy turnout for the election. So we've been asked to update the calendar to make that a teacher workday. So
I make a motion, we approve the calendar change.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Brittany, are you good with that motion? Okay. Yep. So, all right. So I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? All right. So we have updated calendar. All right. And then I believe everybody was contacted by Dr. Hoden about the personnel report for the consent agenda. Any questions about that before someone makes a motion? All right, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right, the consent agenda is approved. All right, so 5.01, closed session.
All right. Mr. Chair, pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia, it is recommended the board convene a closed meeting for the following: A1, personnel matters.
I make the motion we go into closed session.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're in closed.
yours.
Oh, I will, thank you. These are the good ones. Yes. I love that, those big old football players. How like children. I'll try my lunch.
She won. She won. She got,
Did she?
yes, she did.
It was close this morning.
And I know, and she had like 48% of the votes,
Oh, good, because it was 39.
1,000 some votes. So, yeah.
Did she get it?
She did.
I did. We're not supposed to see that.
still hear you.
I did.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I don't want to say because I voted from myself and then I voted from the EDA. And then I made sure everybody in my,
I told the whole
I voted
family.
for my computer at work, my phone here, my phone at work.
You put a Charlotte.
Athlete of the week for Lynchburg area. It was my niece. She, yeah.
I saw it,
Yeah. I wish I had been there. They played in Salem.
oh,
And they, I think they were playing Pulaski. They were down 1-0. Bottom of the, they play
One of
six.
those
Is it
six.
six? Bottom of the sixth. She had a 3-run homer.
oh, my
So-
gosh. I saw the pages
You know,
now.
walk off, 3-run
Somebody
homer,
typed that,
win the game.
somebody taped that, didn't
Yeah, yeah, my brother's got that on film.
they? I know he's good with that, yeah. It's good news. Yeah, it's good. Everybody feel alone.
Is that already out?
It's up at your place. Should be out. And so.
Look at all these beautiful people.
Thank you.
Sorry, maybe you need to get a new wife.
Got 49 years.
Oh, no, can't do it now. It's too late. It's too late. You're a lifer.
Don't start over.
You are a lifer.
There should be a Ziploc bag in there right underneath the gummy bears. You can also help yourself with gummy bears. I know, I found the gummy bear. I like that. Is that whatever it takes?
Hadn't been in your pocket all day.
We're missing
Don just walked.
Dawn. It's like herding cats. All right. All right, board, to have a motion to come out of close?
Motion come out of close.
Second.
All right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So I'm going to read our certification for closed meeting. Whereas the Amherst County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such a closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Amherst County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by the Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Mr. David Childress?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Liggett? Mr. Cherry?
Yes.
Ms. Justice?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jason Childress?
Yes.
Ms. Saunders? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include 6.02, discussion approval of the superintendent profile and application.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So we have a amended agenda. So that brings us to 6.01, discussion of the STEM Academy increase. So a little bit of a mix-up on this. Through some communications, we thought the increase was going to be a lot more than it actually is. So it appears the increase is only about $300 per student. They're waiting to get the final results back from the CVCC. When I originally asked for this to be put on the agenda, I was under the impression that it was $6,700 per student, which would have been a need for us to act on that, because that would have been a very large increase and certainly affected our budget as we're going through the budget process. So that's been resolved, but I did want to leave it on the agenda so we could discuss it and just make sure through transparency that we are aware that they are looking at a increase in STEM of about up to $300 per student that would take the current from, I think, what is it, 6,400 per student up to 6,700 per student. So any thoughts or comments on that?
It's like when we were having our meeting, she said it's gonna be up to 8%. 5 would be from CVCC and roughly 3 from the city, because that's where they get their budget.
So we did miss an opportunity, a little saddened, because they did have some extra seats that we could have picked for our kids. But unfortunately, we didn't respond soon enough for it. As you know, I think this board fully supports STEM and CTE, and to have been able to provide those additional seats to our students would have been a great opportunity. But, maybe next year, if it arises, we'll be able to jump in there a little bit sooner and get those additional seats for our kids, so.
Mr. Chair, so if we are actually talking to CVCC, there's a possibility that increase could also apply to CTE. Again, we're working with them to figure out exactly what that would entail. Obviously, nothing's going to be official until we get a little closer to May. So I'm anticipating the May board meeting will have full rundown on those numbers, if indeed that does get passed.
Hopefully by May, we'll have a full budget ourselves, and the state will get their act together, and we'll have a complete budget, and hopefully it'll work out all on the good side, so.
Mr. Neighbors, quick question. Have the students already applied for STEM for next year?
Yes, sir.
And we've already picked the students? Do you know how many applicants we had?
So I'll go back and get the official number for you.
I'm just curious, is it,
We're almost double the number of slots we have. So
double the number of slots that we have, so it's 4 and
4 and 4.
4 and 4?
and that applies to CTE Academy as well, which is much more significant.
Yeah.
I think it was like 29 total.
29 total, okay.
There's a lot of overlap with those different programs, so they might go to school with some of the other outside programs we have access to. So a lot of those students will still get a spot, so to
Right.
speak, it just may not be in a particular program.
Okay. Just making sure that if there were extra spots that we were able to pick up, students were interested and willing and wanting to attend.
Yeah, and I'll be bringing that to the board next February so that we are primed, ready to go. We had all the 45 minutes to scoop up those 2 extra slots this time.
Yeah, I heard they went really quick,
Yeah, so it did very quick.
Gamble County, on the draw.
We'll be ready to get those when they come out next week.
We need to talk to Susan and have her email us first. Can we do that?
Alphabetical.
I was gonna say, we don't know.
On my phone.
All right, well, I appreciate the discussion, and just wanted to make sure everybody's aware of that potential increase. All right, moving on to 6.02, and with that, I will turn it over to these fine young men.
You're gonna take the,
Roger's gonna start, and then I'll bring it home.
Well, let me just say, it's been a privilege and an honor to be here in Amherst County over the last couple of weeks. I had the opportunity to interview 63 different people, face-to-face, on the phone, over Zoom, never had to work with them, but mostly face-to-face. And 6 of those were students at the high school, all juniors, with whom will work with their new superintendent in the coming year. Real synergy, is pleased to be able to, thank you, work with you again. As you know, we had 377 survey responses. We think that is very good, actually outstanding. We appreciate all the feedback, and those were people from a variety of groups. And so if you will turn to your yellow section.
And based on that, could I make a comment,
Sure.
please? And I just wanted to say that as a board, we did, in fact, read every one of those comments.
Yes.
And so we do appreciate everyone who participated in the process, whether it was staff members, administrators, community members, board of supervisors, parents, whomever. We do appreciate you taking the time to do that, and know that as a board, we do care about it, and we did actually read every comment.
And that informs the process. So one of the things that we do is try to provide to you multiple pieces of data, so that you're getting ready to look in your packet in front of you, yellow page. You'll see a bar graph. This is the first data grab, and this data grab came from a variety of sources: students, parents, community members, retirees, community residents, and people who work and own a business. So that bar graph represents the totality of the participants by category. So if you go to the next one, which is number 1, it's your first pie chart, the first pie chart. So this says communicates well with all community groups. So when you look at a graph like this, we tend to group the top 2 categories, which are most important and very important. We kind of look at those together, and then we compare those to less important and least important. So if you combine the red and the yellow, 56.9 and 18.6%, you can see communicates is a priority. Okay, let's go to the next bar graph. Same type of thing, communicates well with people of all races and socioeconomic status. So 52% and 18% combined is a fairly large group of the respondents. So you can see, again, the trend of communication continues. Number 3, has strong human relations or people skills. Top 2, blue and red. If you combine those, it's very strong. And then some people say that is your most important category. But you will see other indicators as we continue through these. Number 4, supports the use and development of technology in teaching and learning. Again, most important and very important if you combine those. And then again, number 4 and 5, purple and green, people who think those are a little less important. Number 5, is willing to take new approaches to teaching and learning. If you look at most and very important, and then less and least important, it does inform you with regard to specific people's priority when it comes to new approaches to teaching and learning. Number 6, has ideas and approaches to closing achievement gaps. The red and the blue combined, and the purple and the green combined kind of tell a story there. Number 7, next page, has ideas and approaches to improving graduation rates and preventing dropouts. This has been a shining light for you guys recently with the award at the high school. If you combine the top 2 and the bottom 2, you can see how the pie chart breaks out for that category. Number 8, Very important today, as we know budgets continue to become a topic of conversation. Understand school finance, budgets, and business management. Most important, very important. And then the bottom two, purple and green, least and a little less important. Number 9, understands how to effectively partner for resources needed to operate the schools. Same kind of combination. And number 10, knows how to get staff, students, parents, and community to work together to help children learn. Blue and red. This is probably the one with the, not a play on words, but the smallest amount of pie chart for less and least important in the survey. Number 11, understands how to and is able to effectively delegate authority when in this position. Number 12, the next one, understands how to provide safe environments for students and staff. And I will tell you, after going to the schools and seeing the most recent upgrades and hearing feedback from staff, people feel safe, and that's because of the efforts that you've put into it. Number 13, has experience with building, maintaining, and managing schools. Most and very, and least and less combined. Number 14, and we certainly heard a lot about this, should have high visibility in the schools. A little smaller area of red there, a little smaller area of purple as well. Number 15, should be accessible and respond to concerns in a timely manner. Same comparisons. Has been a successful educator at the building and central office levels in the past. And that completes the pie charts. So if you go through the next section, you will see the 5 questions that I ask every interview. So you're now looking at this page. It has a lot of numbers on it, but it is a summary of the 63 people I interviewed, along with, or in combination with, the pie charts that you just looked at. So if you put these 2 data sets together, this is going to tell you a story. So the number 1 question I asked the people I interviewed personally, describe the positive attributes of Amherst County Schools from your perspective. Without a doubt, number 21, if you look over to the far right under total, 21 people, 21 mentions of student-centered environment, along with a great sense of community support and pride. I can't tell you how many times I sat and talked with people about the Amherst way in a very positive manner of speaking. The feedback was, we take a lot of pride in our schools. We are very happy with how people engage with us for the most part, but the focus is on student achievement, student-centeredness, and educating all students. So I can't tell you how many people commented to me about the pride, the support for schools, and how people genuinely feel about Amherst. And that just rose to the top. Very close to that, with a 9 response, was employees who are passionate and invested, especially at the teacher rank and the people who are working at the school levels. Coming on down the page, great CTE options, along with connected leadership. People recognize that you have challenges, but they work together to solve problems. And then they talked a little bit about recognizing and prioritizing staff. So those are the top respondents when it comes to people saying, these are the things we do well, and they are the positives. So if you go to the next page, again, combining both the pie chart information and the interviews, next question, what are the challenges of Amherst County Schools from your perspective? The top one was, they're there together, sustained student achievement and student attendance coupled with behaviors from time to time. Sometimes lack of parental involvement, and sometimes a lack of outside perspective. And then also it was mentioned to me that the ever-increasing state expectations and mandates that surprise people, but they seem to work together to solve them, but they mentioned that as a challenge, and so we wanted to make sure you heard this. The other top 5 respondent was this changing demographic that you are seeing in your school division, changing dynamics of families, financial situations, household challenges, and so we just grouped that under changing student needs. And you can list a lot of challenges that you come in contact with there, both in your community and in your schools. And so we see this from time to time when you have a growing population or a population that is diversifying in multiple ways. Sometimes it has to do with family structure, sometimes it's related to income, sometimes it's job loss, sometimes it's challenges that impact schools that you don't have a whole lot to do with. So again, we grouped those at the top there so you could see them. Other things that were mentioned, bringing people together for a common goal and mission is a challenge sometimes. Innovation was mentioned, and lack of support positions for top priority areas. So the first question, what do you do well? The second question, what are you challenged by, both in Amherst County Schools? All right, if you go to the next page, this is this tells a story basically, and this is where we sat down and really focused on your job description or your profile that we are going to publicize on your behalf. Describe the characteristics, skills, or knowledge the next superintendent of Amherst must possess. Top 1, instructional leader. Number 2, a communicator. And you saw that in your pie charts too, right? So now you're putting this data set together in totality. Next, approachable. Very closely aligned to that, a visionary, somebody who has a vision and can articulate it. But very close to that is, while they're articulating this vision, they're an excellent listener. So, you know, communication is two-way, right? You can talk and articulate a vision, but you have to be able to listen and take input. Your community and all the people that have participated with the surveys and interviews want someone who is student-centered and builds relationships with others. They want to be engaged. They want someone who has a variety of experiences. They also want someone who is a strong advocate for employees, both teachers and staff. Passion keeps being mentioned. Collaboration mentioned, somebody who can build teams, a problem solver, and also somebody who can do that with integrity. And again, slightly below that, but people will mention someone who has thoughts about innovation, understands and appreciates local culture, history, and the Amherst way. We've heard that several times. Well, and we have heard this not quite as often from the survey, but in person, I really heard someone talk about being a skilled political navigator. And when we talk about this, being able to bring people from different perspectives together, but be able to navigate complex issues that may come before the school division and the leadership in general. So we just put it and listed it this way: skilled political navigator. Someone who's flexible, someone who has knowledge of changing demographics, and also someone who wants to be a part of Amherst County. Actually, the students mentioned to me they want somebody who wants to be here. If you move on to the next one, if you were to give us one piece of advice to the new superintendent as they onboarded that would aid in his or her success, what would that one piece of advice be? The number one by far: listen, watch, be observant. Closely behind that, visibility, someone who's student-centered and someone who wants to be involved in your community, but also be transparent. They also put a priority on someone who is a leadership learner, or a leader learner, as we call it in graduate education. They want someone who's continually learning and growing and developing others, as in setting the pace, someone who models the way, someone who talks about the growth in perspective when it comes to capacity building. I heard a lot about school improvement process, so we termed it work the plan, follow the process, and keep everyone staying on the main thing, right? You've heard that before, keep the main thing the main thing. So I think that's what they were referring to. Be true to your core beliefs. Build strong teams intentionally. Collaborate, talk internally and externally. Someone who's patient, someone who stays focused on relationships, communication, and awareness. You also see at the bottom of the page, CTE keeps being brought up in both an area of strength and an area that people continue to want to be a part of. So when you start looking at that set of data from the interviews and the pie charts, you come to our next page, which is green. So we have prepared for you a sample posting. This is reworded from the last search that we did in 2022. You will see the number one thing that matches the number one thing that we were told you want to focus on. They're recommending this to you, that you focus on instructional leadership. Second, strong communication, visibility, approachability, and involved in the community. Someone who develops and implements a shared vision with all stakeholders, leads by example with integrity and humility. People mention to me often that they want someone who has humility. I thought that was interesting. It's the first time someone in our searches that we've done has really talked to me about that, and they were very sincere. Someone who can build partnerships, embrace and advocate for a diverse population of students, and not only a diverse population of students, but a changing community. You have a changing demographic in your community that you're well aware of, but that trend came out. It stood out closely to us that there may be some complex issues that will be coming before you, and you need skilled leadership to think about that in perhaps a different way. Not last, but also important, was budgeting, resource management, to enhance and ensure continuation of a quality teaching and learning process. And in this fostering of community partnerships continues to be a trend that we see. Now, this is not the list that is endless, but it is the list that we recommend. We derived this from being here for a long time, meeting with your folks, interviewing them, talking with them off the record, on the record, looking at all these pie charts. So this is what this data grab has come down to. So when you sit and you do every question like this, I don't know if you can see this, but you mark down every time somebody mentions something, and then you highlight the top ones and you move them to the top, it tells a story. I'd also like to say that it tells a positive story. You have a lot to be excited about here. You have the foundation that has been laid by the people that have been leaders and school board members, community advocates, students in the past. So you have a lot to build on, but you are at an important time in your history. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Martin.
So, we're just beginning the process. So as you look at these 10 items, you're going to see these quite a bit. I will talk about the job application, which will follow this, but we're going to begin to measure these 10 things even in the job application. When we sit with you and design the interview questions, there'll be 10 questions at least directed at these 10, because we want to measure what we've heard and what we're going to be looking for. But I want to go back up to the narrative to cover a couple of things. One is, in terms of candidates that must meet the legal requirements to be licensed or eligible in Virginia. So this has changed a little bit. So not everyone may come with a license, but that doesn't mean they won't be eligible for a license. So they will have to work through the Department of Education, and we can help them. But essentially, the state board will have to approve them to have this license presented. So there is a process that they'll go through. I've added, because most boards want their superintendent to live in the district. So however, it's worded such that once they sign the contract, they have a year to have residency here. Now, that gives them enough time, if there's a family, their kids in school, that they can transition over a summer or whatever that is, so they can come here. But your expectation is that the next superintendent will be a resident of Amherst County. We will determine the date the applications are due tonight. We're thinking probably 30 days, probably by the end of April is when we'll put that on there, and that will move forward from there. As you look below the top 10, starting to sound like Dave Letterman, the top 10, we've gone on site or gone on the web and looked at everything to enhance Amherst County. What are the things, what are the the things that applicants can look for? Now, we didn't used to do this, I'm just going to tell you, because we wanted the applicant to do their own digging. Because you'll be able to tell an applicant that's researched your county. So we've kind of said, oh, by the way, it might be good for you to kind of look at these sites. Now, I can tell you, the one that I think is tremendous is the YouTube video. I don't know who did that, but it is really wonderful. It's,
EDA.
Oh, did you?
Just go brag.
okay. You can pay me later for that one. We talk about you a little bit. So this job posting, along with the application, will be on your website. This is going to be a one-stop shop. We want applicants to go to the website and look at the posting. They can pull off the application, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and then they will send it to me. Okay, so what happens when it comes to me? When it comes to me, there are two things, actually three. Roger will, I am going to take the top 10, and I have a spreadsheet, and I will begin to measure their responses on some of the application. And I will rank order those. You'll get to see those. That'll be our first time of kind of seeing how they will respond to certain things. From that, you'll determine which ones you want to interview. The other thing that happens, Roger and I will share in this, we are going to do an extensive search on newspaper, social media, whatever, but we will start calling references, and if they don't list a reference, we usually ask references, do you know anybody else that knows this person very well? I used to tell my graduate students, so on your Facebook page, if you've deleted something that you thought was inappropriate, well, guess what? We can find it. I mean, once it's on the internet, it's there. So we do a pretty extensive search. Anything that we find, we will let you know. And we can give you, we can give the citations, and we'll give you all of that. So I tell boards more often than not, when you pick a superintendent, you want to pick a superintendent that doesn't have any baggage. Because if they come to Amherst with baggage, you're going to be defending the baggage. And he or she's not going to have time to do the work. So we want to do a pretty extensive search. The other thing, so applicants could be listening, we'll encourage you to do a criminal background check, which your sheriff will do, and then we're going to encourage you to do a credit check. And the reason for the credit check is we want to be sure the applicants can not only manage their money, but help you manage yours as well. So we want to be sure that there are no issues there as well. So all the inquiries should come to me. If you have an applicant call you, because your numbers are on the website, please direct them to me. We don't want to, not that you would give them an unfair advantage, but we just want to keep everybody the same. Roger and I will share every conversation we have with applicants. You will know everything that we know, because it's not our decision, it's yours. and you need to have all the data and information to make an informed decision. So let's look at the application, which is behind the blue area.
Can we talk about this?
Oh,
real quick?
absolutely, sure.
I just had some thoughts, if you don't mind. For the number 9, could we consider changing that to say, understanding budgeting and resource management to ensure retention and recruiting of high-quality teachers to ensure a rigorous learning process? Does that make sense, or is that, am I,
Well, so Dawn, who's our grammarian now, I've learned.
yeah.
You've used ensure twice.
You're right. I realized that as I read it.
So read it one more time and I'll.
Understanding budgeting and resource management to ensure retention and recruiting of high-quality teachers, and we probably want to get a different word besides to ensure a rigorous learning process
In support of the learning.
in support of a rigorous learning process. Yeah, there you go.
You used the
Are you
word.
sending that to ChatGPT?
No, I'm just looking for another word for sure. That's,
I like to do what Dr. Rogers said, in support of.
okay.
All right, so
Guarantee.
here's what I
Guarantee.
heard.
Okay.
Understanding budgeting and resource management to ensure continuation, retention, and recruitment of high-quality teachers and support of rigorous learning processes.
Shorten it, you could take out the word continuation.
Yeah, I will take out continuation.
Got it, okay?
Board, would you, and you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you don't like that, if you like what they have better.
I like your added, your additions.
Okay. The other one, is for the grades. Do we want to put pre-K through 12?
Or, oh, yes. Good catch.
And then the only other suggestion I had was when we say it's going to be available on the website, I assume this is going to be posted on the web somewhere?
Your website.
This is going to be on our website?
Yes.
Well, even so, when we put this here, I'd like it to go to the actual link to where it's going to go, because, I mean,
Oh, you mean we could do the slash and put it there?
yes,
Oh, okay,
because otherwise, they're having to look for it,
Website.
got it.
right? If we already know where it is, let's give them the link so
Got
they
it.
click it and go to it.
Okay.
And that's all I had on that, sir.
Brittany, we'll be talking.
And I apologize if I threw a wrench in a plan.
No.
You could say safeguard, learning processes, anyways.
Any other changes, suggestions, before we move on? You happy with everything else? Yeah, again, I thought it was great, how you took, this is really a summary of the top of what you saw through the process. And so I greatly appreciate that. Yes,
Sense
yeah,
through data, informal.
yeah. And it took a lot of time to do that, and so I want to thank you for doing that, so.
So now we're going on to the job application itself, and obviously, they need to send in the application, accompanying documents. It has to be in a PDF, and it has to be filed by midnight on the date when we pick that date. They're going to be sent to me. I would like to have unofficial copies of their transcripts. Can I just tell you, there have been instances where transcripts have been fudged. So we kind of check those out as well.
Not here, neighbors.
Yeah, no, it wasn't here. And I'd like to see copies of their professional licenses, and I'd like an updated resume, because sometimes a resume will tell us more than this application is going to tell, particularly if it's a narrative sort of resume. So we want to be sure we collect as much information as we can from them. Again, we are reminding them not to contact you, but if they have questions, they'll contact me. So there's one source of information, and they know where that's coming from. So as we move in to the application itself, the first page is just general, or page 2. But I want to call your attention to pages 3 and 4, because this is where it gets interesting. So if you look on page 3, item C, we're now starting to measure some of the 10 things we've identified in the posting. Now, you might be wondering, well, bulleted format. I learned this the hard way when I taught graduate students. You know, you could write 300 pages on a single thought and not say anything. So I taught my graduate students, do a bullet, just tell me what it is. Tell me what you did. You don't have to elaborate. I just want to know the meat of it. So that's what we're asking them to do. And we're giving them 1,500 characters. Roger, and we've gotten feedback from, this is a pretty difficult application because we're asking them to think. We want people to want to be here. And if they're really interested, they're going to do this. And they're going to think about it. I don't know that we've ever had anybody say, your application was too hard, so I didn't apply. That has never happened that I know of. But certainly, we want them to respond to educational leadership and teaching and learning. That hits the instructional piece, financial planning, goal setting and monitoring instruction, community relationships, and working with various advisory groups. Now, when we get into the essays, this is a little bit more thought-provoking, because now we're asking them, like, what criteria would you use to establish and evaluate assessments to determine whether measuring student achievement is effective? That's pretty thought-provoking. And now we're again saying, in a bullet format, tell us how you're going to be doing that. And what actions would you take to develop and keep positive relationships in the community? And more often than not, they're going to tell us what they've done in the past. Well, I met with the Chamber of Commerce, once a week. I was in the Rotary, EDA, I went on, all those sorts of things. We want to hear that. We want to know what their experiences have been. We also want to know their leadership style and personnel management and delegation. Probably the hardest thing for people to write about is delegation. It's very hard. It's extremely hard to do that. But you'll get some answers, and there'll be good ones too. We want to know how they view the ideal relationship between the superintendent, the school board, the board of supervisors, and the county administrator. Now, if they haven't had that experience, we want them to think about it. How are you going to develop that relationship with these groups? It's very important. Each one of these is essential for a superintendent, in my view, to be successful.
Yeah, are you kind of giving away the farm with your follow-up question? How should these respective roles complement and support one another?
One would think that, but remember you asked me that question when you see a couple of the responses.
Okay.
All right, and then the last couple of pages, we are going to do background checks. We ask them if they've ever been dismissed. Have you ever had a license or certificate revoked or suspended? Have they ever been investigated for alleged misconduct and their certification? They are going to give us permission to search them. Not physically.
Baggage part.
Yes. We don't need this, but they are also going to give us permission to search the internet. We don't really need that permission to do it, but we want them to be aware that we are going to do it. I mean, how can we not? I don't have a Facebook page, but I have ways to look on Facebook. I mean, I have an account, you probably could not find it, but it allows me to kind of go in and out and search for things.
Challenge accepted.
You're not going to see a picture of me, I can tell you that. All right, so that is the application. And again, this will be on your website. So all the applicants, one-stop shop. Profile, application, send it in.
And this is going to be in PDF form on the website?
No, this is going to be in Word.
Word, okay.
And then they will convert it to a PDF when they send it to me.
Okay.
This is a lot of information for one setting. There have been several of you who've been through this process before. So in reflection of that, along with the new members who are getting this for the first time, do you have thoughts for us? We've tried to package it in a way that is commonsensical, but it directly applies to what we heard.
Veteran board members, any thoughts?
Eric has a thought, I can tell.
Yeah, after going through the process at least once before, it's not new. But you guys continue to do a good job, and I think it's so important to get that information and to put it into the pie charts really helps a lot to really understand where the priorities are for our county. And it seems like there is a connection between us and the community because
Strong
it's reflected in what we think, what we talk about in our meetings, and what people are saying. So we're moving in the right direction. We just need a superintendent to continue moving us in that direction. So
Good.
appreciate all the hard work.
Good point. We also put the pie charts on your website. We want to get, and I thought about putting a redacted version of your survey comments on the website. So if you published it, that means you've really read it. But the redacted version may not make a whole lot of sense because there's not a blank for a name. I've just taken the names out. But they'll still get to see, it's not the meat and potatoes, it's just the meat of the survey.
Did any of the data you got off these pie charts, is it a drastic difference than the last time we did this? Anything that you went, wow, I wasn't expecting that?
So the one thing that kind of sticks out of my mind, and Roger has this here.
I had the search.
And we sent this to you, I think.
Yeah, we shared it with the
Yeah,
board.
yeah, the search
And it's just what I remembered.
advertisement the last time.
Strong communication and effective team building was number one. That had to be a communicator, a strong communicator that could build teams. Visibility and involvement, again, same thing, being out there, talking, and being personable. And the shared leadership. So, I guess,
This time, instructional leadership moved ahead of those, but it did not diminish the importance of communicating and team
Right.
building. I guess that's the best way to put it. Let me also say, just as a frame of reference for you all, the people that I spoke with and the surveys I read in combination, there is a recognition that your community is changing. Parental situations are changing, the dynamics, the complexity, and with that comes problem-solving approaches that may have not been considered before. Let me also mention that they want you and all other leaders in the community to work well together. No one was mean about this. No one drug this out over 250 characters, but they basically want what's best for Amherst County students. I admire that, and it's just honest, and they want a superintendent who can build on what has been here in the past. So I happen to have worked with the last 4 superintendents here. My wife says that's saying you're old, Roger. But
It is.
it has been a privilege and an honor to partner with Amherst County, and you've had some excellent superintendents, including the one who's retiring. And that's a kudos to you, accolades to them. You're entering a new era. With new eras come new challenges. So you see an evolution of shifting priorities, not a reduction in priorities, but there's a little shift taking place. That's what I recognized.
Absolutely. Echo that.
Thank you.
So, with your permission, to approve the profile and the application with the deadline for the last day in April is,
Talking about Friday?
Thursday.
April 31st.
No, 30th.
30th.
April 30th.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
Thursday.
And so that'll be on the posting, and it's the first thing they're gonna see when they look at page 1 and 2 of the application. Now,
That actually follows our superintendent search schedule.
right, so I want to also tell you that you're going to be very interested. I know David is going to be very interested. I can see him calling me now. How many applications have you got? How many applications have you got? I can just see that happening, but that's okay. I will tell you, a lot of these applicants will wait
Last.
11:45, and I'll get a flood of them.
Have you got any yet?
No. Did you submit one?
I had to see the form first.
So, and we'll let you know, I'll let David know, or I can write to all of you at the same time and say, we're doing well, we received some of them. I hesitate giving you a number for a specific reason. Well, we've only gotten 5. Oh my. People must not be interested in it at first. See, I don't want that sort of mindset to sink in with you, because we need to get all the way to the end.
Or the opposite, we've gotten 12 or 15, and somebody who's thinking about applying says, oh, they already have a dozen, they're not going to consider that.
Correct.
So the reverse could be true as well.
Right. And just let me remind you, it only takes 1.
What's the norm, you think? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, huh?
It really depends.
It doesn't, I was gonna say.
Now, what's in your favor right now? There are not a lot of openings in Virginia for
Okay,
superintendents.
There's one right now, Southampton. That closes on March 12th.
So, I mean, tis the
I thought it was
season.
2 out that way. I thought it was Southampton and another
There's
one
only
towards the
one
beach.
posted that I saw today.
Okay.
But I checked it. Chesapeake has closed already.
Yeah.
They did, okay. Yeah, I thought there were 2 out towards the
Yeah,
beach.
Chesapeake is closed.
So it's tis the season. This is the time. We're in prime time, and Roger and I will begin to make some calls. to let
We've already
people
started.
know that it's open.
Yeah. We've already started that process.
We kind of don't say, you really should apply. We said, we're just letting you know, there's a great school system that we're working on. Can I send you the posting? Or you can go on the website. You know, just sort, and we leave it at that. And then when we get the application, it's a good day. So, approval of the profile and application, and then we have to have a little chat about the schedule.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, board, you've had an opportunity to look at the profile and the application. Any further discussion, or is anyone ready to entertain a motion?
I'll make the motion. Can we accept both at one time, or do I need to do separate? Okay. I make a motion that we accept the superintendent search application along with the profile.
All right, we have a motion,
Second?
and we have a second. Any discussion?
Will it be amended? I know we had talked about
As
Oh,
amended.
with amendments,
Say as amended.
as amended.
as amended.
Say it
that
again,
one,
John.
that
Say it
one
again, Lori.
instance.
Yeah,
Brittany's got it covered.
yeah.
All right.
So great point. Thank you, sir. Yeah. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. All right, so that is approved. So now we're going to talk about calendar.
So, right on the front of the yellow
First page.
first page, is the calendar, but I understand that there may be an issue because of Memorial Day and graduation.
Graduation, right. That's the same weekend.
Yeah, 22nd, 23rd.
Now, what you can do is, we can make the first round, well, it's your schedule.
Yeah, they're going to have to decide.
So graduation is the 22nd. And then we're saying the 23rd, that's Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
Could we,
15th.
could we not push it to the, well, we already got the 29th and 30th for the second round.
That could be your first round.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna schedule your second round sometime in June, probably that next weekend. You can't wait a whole long time between your first and second.
Right. Well, I guess the question is, I mean, we said we would do it on a Friday, Saturday. Does the board want to entertain another day of the week to do interviews?
I think we did Friday, Saturday because that enabled applicants who may be in a division currently to come without basically advertising they're looking at another job, correct?
Correct.
Sure, but we could do it on a Monday.
If they're, well, just let me say this, if the applicant is currently working, so they may have to be at work that Monday, they'll come in their costume,
Yeah.
their interview costume, so then people will want to know. I want you to see these candidates when they're fresh, when they are really, they're ready to roll.
So then your advice is leave it Friday, Saturday?
And your Friday could be open to people that are very close by, and your Saturday would be open to people that may be traveling a distance.
We've tried to structure it so the travel is not problematic for a candidate. And we've also mentioned this before, if you have a candidate that is from out of state, a couple states away, we can do some preliminary work to help inform the process when you meet on the 15th or 16th to decide, one, final application questions and who you're going to interview. So,
The problem when you get into June
Yeah, people on
is
vacation.
vacation times, because you go the third or second week of June?
Yeah, I usually go we're the 15th, week the 15th.
Yeah, see, I'm the week right before that.
could do,
I guess
I'm on
from my
JMU all day
perspective,
on
that
Fridays.
feels
I
a
think
little
it's the 7th
close
or 8th. I could
to
do
when a
9 on
contract
Saturday only.
would be signed so that your prime candidates may go elsewhere. You know,
I don't know if it's gonna give you enough time if you wanna have one in place by July 1. That's
Exactly.
So is there any, could we back it up to the first interview on the 15th, 16th? Or does that not give us enough time? And I guess that's more of a question for you two.
All right, well, here's what we were
Just
kind of.
talking.
Yeah, so, if you could let us work with you on Saturday, May 9th, to review applications and design the interview questions.
That's CBCC's graduation.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was.
All these people want to graduate.
I don't want the conversation to go too far.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The 9th is, so what about the 16th then?
Do you know what time that is? 10? You know, we could do an afternoon.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, we could come in the afternoon. That is not an all, that's not an all-day meeting. That is,
That's a pretty
that's like
quick-
2 hours.
That's pretty quick.
So what would take place on that, if we're talking about the 9th, after, assuming in the evening, what would we do at that meeting?
You're gonna, I will bring all the applications with me. You'll get to see them all. We'll go through them all. You'll see the ranking based on the responses from the application questions. And then we are going to design the first round interviews,
Questions?
questions. And then I will do some training on interview techniques and body language.
Oh, I failed, sorry.
And so when we talk about
Hide your
designing
face.
questions, we have suggested questions for you. We're tweaking the questions. You don't have to sit and brainstorm on how you ask it, what you ask.
If we could have those ahead of
Yeah,
time,
we-
that would be very
Oh,
beneficial.
We could do that, but just know, those questions are gonna be designed for the 10 areas you've already identified.
Mhm.
So you're gonna be able to tweak that.
That's what I'm saying, that way we could tweak it, like, I'm not trying to proofread it and tweak it sitting here. I could have already done it and make, when we get there, I could have suggestions, because,
What you'll
Let's hide
find
in the
most,
weeds.
what you'll
I'm sure I'll
find
have
about
some.
most valuable that day is the bottom line is you're gonna get to look at everybody
I'll
that's
have one or two.
applied. That's a big day for, we're gonna interview X number out of X number. And that's gonna be our first round. So that's a big day for decisions. It doesn't take 3 hours, it takes more like 2.
Yeah. I
or are
mean,
you willing to come in the evening on Saturday, May 9th, to do that process?
No, it's
Evening?
Mother's Day weekend, y'all.
Oh, is it?
Is it Mother's Day weekend?
I'm a mother.
Yeah, that is true, because I'm actually preaching in Louisa on the next day.
Would Thursday, if it's just to review the application, since that's a typical board meeting night, would Thursday, May 7th be?
Yeah, that doesn't have to be on a Saturday.
And that way Ms. Liggins not trying to get from festivities from graduation.
I wasn't coming.
Well, we want you there.
I can't be,
Like, I'm sitting this one out.
my students are grad, no, I'm just saying, I was gonna tell you that. My students
So May
graduate,
7th.
Get all over town.
Yes, throwing it out as a possibility.
May
I like
7th.
it.
Okay, so May
I don't wanna spend the
7th
night there.
could be,
It's gonna be a process.
the special call school board meeting.
Yeah,
And
it is.
all of that
Take your
meeting will be in closed session.
6 o'clock.
And there'll be no action afterwards because you'll just be deciding on the candidates and then we'll be arranging those interviews. So all that'll be enclosed.
At 6,
Is May 7th good?
yes.
At 6 p.m. usual time?
Yes.
We'll see. No, sorry.
Just,
6:30.
I'll start
7.
including you on my text. If I send something out like 7 PM again,
It's totally hard to show that.
All right, so now we're at first round interviews when?
Could you do that then 15th, 16th?
Yep.
Okay, but when is the
Wait.
CBCC?
That's gone now. We're not meeting May 9th.
That was
Oh,
May
it was
9th.
that weekend.
May
Oh,
9th.
okay, great, okay, thank you.
The
So,
following weekend.
so we're, May 7th, we're working on the applications and questions, and the 15th and 16th, first round, okay?
So would we say 15th or 16th, is that what you just said? Did I hear?
Yeah, it'll probably be a Friday evening, maybe,
Okay.
for locals, or depending on how many you select, we might just decide to do them all on Saturday.
And also, when we say local, we're talking somebody that might drive an hour or 2.
Right.
That's local for us. Regional,
Yeah.
yeah, regional's probably better. Within a certain,
So when does that put our second round, if we're gonna do first on 15 and 16?
all right, so just
Do
for
we
my
have a time on
edification, excuse me, on the 16th,
We'll have to let you know
What-
the time. Well,
That's Friday,
yeah.
Friday the 15th.
yeah, Friday, the 15th, I'm good. I need to confirm the time on the 16th, because I do have my son's graduating from Longwood on the 16th.
That'll be awesome all day for you.
yeah,
I'm not
that's,
gonna be here.
that's right. Yeah, you gotta go with that.
Not doing his graduation, I will not be.
Okay, so let's mark that. out.
Well, that's what I want to talk about the time, because it's at 4 PM.
Oh, it's graduation.
Hold on, the ceremony would be held Saturday, May at 9:30 AM,
Yeah,
so.
yours is all day. I've been there.
That's an all.
Is Longwood all day?
Yes. it's
No,
a-
it's all morning, but why would you race back, David? I mean, enjoy the day.
You do what you gotta do.
No. This is-
Family first, this is second, sorry.
All right, so I can do the 15th, I can't do the 16th. And if you wanna, you're welcome to do it without me.
No, we are.
No.
Oh, excuse me.
That can't happen.
I don't think we want to do it that
We have to have everybody.
way.
I hope no one is sick, because everybody has to be present for the interviews. Everybody.
It's a commitment.
It is, because we don't want to tell the candidate, oh, we're going to videotape your interview because Dawn can't be here.
Yeah, that makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's worse than a Zoom interview.
He did that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I mean, I'm sure you've said it on many an
I
interview.
teach over Zoom.
Yeah,
What they gonna do then?
because it's something about like making eye contact with people and reading the room,
We're reading their body language.
reading body language, absolutely.
So
Wait till we get to that
interviews,
section.
6.
All right, so let me ask you
15.
another question. Some of you are working. Can you take off the 15th,
Yes.
the day?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
The
Friday.
15th is Friday.
Friday the 15th?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we can take off Friday the 15th and just do this.
as long as that's not Louisa graduation. Let me check.
David,
I'll write you a note.
Yeah, I tell you what, you go see Doug Straley and get me out of it.
So if we do first round on the 15th,
Please excuse. Write me a note.
so when would the second round be? It needs to be kind of, the 22nd or 23rd is what now?
That was graduation.
22nd is graduation.
Memorial.
And that's
They
mo,
were looking at the
yeah,
following
and-
weekend, the 29th.
29th.
yeah,
30th.
because 22nd, 23rd, that weekend, it's double whammy. You got graduation and you got the holiday.
All right, so let me ask another crazy question. Could you take off like a Wednesday afternoon,
It depends on which Wednesday.
okay? Could you take off like a Tuesday afternoon? Like a late afternoon, evening? And also know these will be second round interviews, so you may be only talking to two, possibly three.
Would the preference be to be Thursday again, just since that's the regular meeting night, and do Thursday the 28th? That's my child's birthday.
And it's a long day.
That's my son's birthday.
And we're not doing it then.
I'm just waiting to be told.
Well, this is a very busy
May is the-
time
is
of
the
year.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
It is.
It just is
Absolutely.
what it is. So if you wanted to do the May 7th meeting and get your first round of interviews over and go from there, that may be where you land, because there may be somebody or two or three that you want to see pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Now, the good news is there's only one other opening in the state of Virginia
That is
that I
very
know
nice.
of.
Right now.
So interview, first rounds are 15th.
Blocking out the whole day.
Yes.
So
Okay.
are we looking at the 21st on that Thursday, or are we not? Are we looking at going up, skipping a week and going the 29th or 30th?
Well, I've never done this before, but because your schedules are so
Tight,
wonky.
tight. They're
Committed.
tight, they're tight, they're tight.
Overbooked, I like to
Yeah,
call
we
it.
gotta do this, Chris.
You're overcommitted.
Yeah.
Could we not just do our first rounds on the 15th and then determine
Go from there.
what happens
To be
after
determined.
that?
Sure.
So there are a number of things
And
that,
that's all day.
yes, 15th, but there are a number of things after that first round, is you have to really think about this, and we'll guide you through it, but often the board will say, gosh, candidate, whatever number, candidate, whatever number, candidate, whatever number, I'm not so sure, but I'm very excited about number 4 and 5. So if somebody feels strongly, more strongly about one or the other, I think you're gonna find some time. I think that will come.
You broke this.
Sorry. Sorry, Dad.
So, Mr. Chairman and the board, May 7th, we're going to meet with you at 6 PM to go over all the applications and design questions. And I will send you the questions
In advance,
in advance.
through the clerk.
Yeah. And on May 15th, we are going to have our first round interviews. We will know how many and times
On the 7th.
on the 7th, once we determine who you want to interview.
I just think given all of the complications with the end of this, the days following the 15th, you're going to know how quickly you want to move.
So let me tell you about the first interview process, just a little bit, just to kind of tease you a little bit. So our interview process takes 2 hours for each applicant. We will work with you when we design the questions. We want a performance item, which means they're going to come in and write and respond to a prompt that may be very specific to Amherst County. It could be, we might give test results from one of your elementaries, you're meeting with the board and the principal, design some talking points of what you're going to talk. I mean, we've been pretty creative. We want to be sure that they can not only speak the King's English, but write it as well, without without typos.
Without AI.
Without type, so we will give them a computer, and they will write out, we will print it out. You will not see the writing sample until after all the interviews have been completed, okay? Now, what we have found is, once they write for an hour, and when they come into you, they're pretty settled. You know, they've been concentrating on doing a task, and by the time they come into you, they're ready. And
What do you
you're-
typically choose as a writing prompt?
You'll
We'll
help you
design
do
it.
Yes,
We'll-
absolutely.
We'll give you some thoughts about that, but we walk them from their car basically to the area where they're riding. It's a one-on-one. We like to talk with them about how they're feeling. We want them to relax and be themselves. So this is very personalized. So one person is in the room with you, one person's walking them to their car. We get lots of really good feedback, and also they often just are very honest with you, which is what we want in this process.
So I'm usually the one in the room to be sure we're all playing nicely in the sandbox. I'm not going to look at anybody in particular.
I just looked at everybody.
I'm the escort.
Nobody looked at me.
Careful.
So this is gonna be off-site, correct?
Correct.
So-
And,
At a place to be determined.
Right.
We'll talk about that later.
yes,
Okay.
we have a couple places in mind.
And they're really, really nice.
Now, will you coordinate
We'll
that?
take care of
Yeah,
that.
we'll
You
take,
will, okay.
we're going to do all that. So then, the other thing, when you do your second interviews, we'd like to give the candidate something, another performance item, but this is going to be more specific. We now want to see if they can stand up and present to you. We want to see how they are on their feet. So we'll help you design a prompt so they can come in and do that. Not a long one, but just so we can see that they can present. So the last thing for tonight is, we need to talk about advertisements, because this could impact your budget, possibly. So, right now, Virginia Association of School Superintendents is free for us to put it there. The National Association of School Superintendents is a free site that we can go to. VSBA charges $1,000 a month if you advertise that.
NSS is a fee of $250 for a posting. It's
That's
like-
right, I'm sorry,
It's
that's
like
right.
4 weeks. For members, it's $200, but for a posting for a month while your vacancy exists, I think $250 is a bargain. So we would recommend that. That's a national publication, so.
How many non-superintendents would be looking at this?
VAS, I think they know where it's posted.
Yeah, I think Virginia people will look there. And actually, the VSBA is expensive, but a lot of people have looked there, particularly if they're looking to another state. They'll look at that state's School Board Association. I don't know whether the new School Board Members Association, whether they posted or not, but I can find that out because I can find out.
Probably would, but I do not know if that's their practice.
We can check into that.
Yeah, we can check.
Warren County has membership, so you might,
No, I know they do, so.
okay,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I've shared this with the chairman earlier, often the target area would be current assistant superintendents. And so my superintendent, another superintendent who mentored me, when they or he or she found the vacancy notice or heard about it, they would walk down to the office and say, I know you're thinking about this, I'm not trying to pressure you, but
Here it
Amherst is open, it just opened, or I just heard from a friend. And assistant superintendents, if they don't go to those websites, their superintendent, if they're interested in mentoring them and coaching them, helping them look for vacancies, often communicate vacancies.
So in your experience in the searches you've already done, what sites did you use for posting there? And obviously you had success with those, so I don't know that we need to go above and beyond that. I think as a board, we already said we'd like to keep it within Virginia if we can. There's no need to go outside the state if we've got homegrown here. Or the Commonwealth.
There have been some national superintendent search firms that have allowed us to search or post for free. It is no longer free.
HYA.
Yeah, HYA to be specific.
They used to allow us to put it on there free, but there's a charge for that now. But, you know, that's a business model too, right? You allow people to post it free for a couple of years and then no longer, now there's a charge.
And in the past, when it was free, did you find that useful?
No way to really tell.
Do you track where people, like, do we have that on the application? Where did you hear about it?
No, we don't, there's no way to track it. I think all of our applicants in the past, they haven't been surprises.
Actually, I had a call today from someone who had heard from a friend of mine in Region 5 that this was going to be open, and they called to talk. I said, we're traveling on the road, I'll call you right back. Haven't done it yet, I'll call them and let them know that I'm ready to answer questions. But we didn't have a lot of this information like we do now.
Right.
Now it's formalized, it's approved, and so we
Can
also
direct them
have,
to the website.
and I had a conversation with a grad student in Northern Virginia who knows someone who's looking, and I said, please have them call us. A posting will be up within a couple of days. Oh, thank you, we know they are interested in the superintendent. So sometimes it's just word of mouth, but there are also connections, mostly through the Virginia Association of School Superintendents. Assistant superintendents go to those meetings too, so.
So it sounds like the recommendation is VAS and this other site.
And then NSS for
$250.
$250 for a month, you can't beat it. That's a national publication, if you want to do it, it's up to you, it's $250.
So let me say this about national advertisement. If someone applies and they look extremely good on paper, the first question I'll get is, will the board pay me to fly me there to do whatever? So we may come back to you and say, Roger and I would like to do a preliminary interview via Zoom to kind of talk to this person and vet them out a little bit more, because vetting somebody out of state is a lot harder than right here. Well, not on Facebook, because you can still find out stuff about Facebook. But we would probably suggest that to you before you go to the expense of paying the travel expenses for somebody here.
We'll send our pilot David out to pick them up. Y'all didn't know we had a pilot, did you?
That's awesome.
Do you have a plane?
I thought you had one.
Me? No. Is it an ultralight? No, never mind.
No, I have a real license. All right, so we don't need to approve
No, I
that.
mean-
Board, is the board in agreement with those two avenues? And if we get to the point where we're discussing paying traveling expenses, I think that's something we'd have to reconvene to have a conversation about, because I don't know how I feel about paying for that. I mean, if you're interested and you think you can do it, then,
I've traveled as an applicant to an out-of-state job and was offered it. It was 8 hours away. It was a great ride in the car 3 times in 3 successive weeks. And the last time was with my wife. I did not accept it, did not relocate, but I went down 3 times in 3 different weeks, and I drove 8 hours one way.
wow,
But it was a great experience.
yeah.
Challenging decision, but good experience.
Well, we're
Good
glad
long
you
time.
stayed here. So he could pick on you some more.
I don't,
You heard?
All right, anything else?
no, thank you for tonight,
Great
very
job
much,
tonight.
thank you.
And
I
thank
just
you
had
guys
one,
for being-
one more thing. This whole thing about questions ahead of time, I don't think we've ever done that.
We have
You
not,
comfortable with that?
we've not sent you the questions ahead of
Yeah,
time.
I just thought we said one time that wasn't a good practice.
We would like to sit with you
We have not
and
done
develop them together, but.
That's fine. If that's
I
what you prefer to
don't
do.
think it's a good idea to send them ahead of time.
Okay,
They might get somewhere in the cloud, which would be a good idea,
okay.
but that's up to you.
If that's how you guys would prefer to go, I'm okay with that. I just know how I am about wanting to read it and maybe, make some suggestions, but,
Maybe we could review, but keep our comments till the meeting. How about that?
Yeah.
no, that's fine. We'll do it the way it's been done in the
But no,
past.
no, you made a good point. I just don't want, I don't want anybody asking me on email about that question, because that would be unethical.
I agree with that. So that's
So
why I think
therefore, I
it's,
said it ought to just be
Yep,
here.
I
and done
agree.
here.
I agree.
it's
You
gonna
just
get out of
wait
hand.
and bring it that
Yes,
night.
it's gonna get out of hand. Okay.
So is it coming?
No.
First review?
No.
No comments? Okay.
No.
No.
No, I agree with her thoughts on that. It takes the pressure off the board. If
Yep.
someone hears that we have the questions, just,
See it for the first time, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
so.
And just the last reminder, these are your binders, and please keep them secure.
Thank you.
All right, board, anybody have any other motions that someone would like to make?
I like to make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. Would anybody like to discuss that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are
I will section.
adjourned.
Yes, I did.